Hello, and welcome back to the Minnesota State Park Hiking Club Trail series. Today we traveled to the northwestern reaches of the state to a little town called Argyle, Minnesota, to take the hiking club trail at Old Mill State Park. The park was sold to the state all the way back in 1937, but the mill, in its original iteration, was built all the way back in 1886. Originally powered by water, the mill was destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed again, and then rebuilt to be a steam-powered mill. The mill was rebuilt for the final time in 1958 by the state and is currently fired up once a year for park events. The day is commonly referred to as Grinding Day, typically occurring in August or September, and is used as a way to demonstrate the 1878 Case steam engine that powers the mill. A steam engine that dates back to the American Industrial Revolution era has to be fascinating to watch. I still remember exploring the Lowell Mills Museum and hearing about the industrialization era on the East Coast, so to see how the era impacted a whole separate section of the country is really fascinating. The park includes, in addition to the steam-powered flour mill, a swimming area, campground, and a swinging bridge, although during our visit it was closed for safety concerns and was scheduled for demolition. A new bridge to replace it should be installed by late summer 2025, according to the DNR website. The Middle River also winds its way through the park, which provides a beautiful backdrop to an already interesting park. The river valley the park resides in contains over 100 different species of birds, such as finches, hawks, warblers, magpies, and scarlet tangers. The river valley acts as a corridor for many species, according to the DNR website. This provides a pathway from which migrating birds take during the spring and fall migratory seasons to add to the variety of animals seen, besides the mainstays like the white-tailed deer, the jackrabbit, or black bear and beaver. We also were fortunate enough to see a garter snake that was resting by the picnic tables. You should always be cautious with snakes. Just because there isn't supposed to be any venomous ones in the area doesn't mean that that's absolutely true. I found that out hiking just outside of Mankato when I came across a rattlesnake on the trail. The park sits in the area of Minnesota that was once an extensively large freshwater lake. This, coupled with the glacial activity, which did a fair amount of flattening before the lake, helped create the flat areas in the region today. The river valley was created as the lake level dropped. The water would flow over the loose sediment, creating deep cuts in the surrounding landscape. The hiking club trail checks in at 1.3 miles and took us about 20 minutes to complete, plus another 20 to stop and look at the swinging bridge and walk around the swimming area afterwards. The trail began at the end of the parking lot. You can either go into the field or along the woods. We chose to go along the woods to start. It's a nice, wide cut path that is super nice compared to some of the narrow hiking trails that we've taken, but it is open to the sun quite a bit. So pack your sunscreen, and towards the latter half of the trail you might be put into a pretty well shaded area that has a significant level of bugs, so I'd also pack the bug spray as well, because even on this pretty windy day I took the hike, I still had to double time it to keep the bugs off. The section following the field, you head into a fairly young woods with some intermittent shade that winds along through the forest. It has a thick undergrowth and a not super thick tree density that still inhibits sight deep into the woods, since the tree canopy isn't very far up. It's a pleasant scene to walk through. It eventually transitioned into a section of trees where the trees are a little bit more spread out and a little bit taller, but the underbrush grows to match, so it still kind of impairs that view into the forest. As the trail turns sharply to the left, there is a small path to the right that leads to a wooden deck overlooking the Middle River. It's a nice spot to stop and take a moment to take in that pretty view of the river. It's a scene that would be beautiful in all seasons, as you can see down the river as it turns, and there are just gorgeous trees on either side. I bet if you waited here for a little while, you might even catch a glimpse of some animals coming to the river for a drink. The last half of the trail slowly brings you out of the woods and into the nearby prairie you drove by on your way to the parking lot. There isn't any shade here, so make sure you stop and drink some water before heading out into it, because even in mid-fall, the sun can get pretty warm out in the prairie. My favorite part of the trail is the river. It's got a nice view from the deck in the middle of the trail, which is a perfect place to stop and take in a picturesque scene. Naturally, I also was impressed by the views of the river by the bridges, which always seem to provide the best view of rivers. This river had that perfect meandering through the forest in mid-fall feel, with the leaves floating down the river and the foliage in the background. Just a beautiful scene, plain and simple. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, don't forget to let us know which park you'd like to see next.